this episode of the We Are Reading One Piece podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to following the entire story of One Piece from beginning to end as we focus on each volume. We keep the discussion spoiler-free for new fans of the series, so this is the perfect place to follow along, whether you're new to the series or just want to revisit the world of One Piece with us. This week, we will be covering the second part of Volume 69, S.A.D, which covers chapters 685 through 690. My name is Joel. I'll be your host. Joining me today, we have Evan.
What's up, Evan here.
And we have Cody.
I don't know how long it'll take to edit this, but happy Pride.
Yeah, happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Yeah, hopefully we can get the episode out this month, but we'll see. But with my schedule, we never know.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we do what we can. But yeah, it is going to be a little busy. But yeah, so I apologize if there's any delays getting these episodes out. We do try our best to try to keep it weekly if we can, but easier said than done sometimes. Yeah, so how you guys doing today?
Doing good.
I hurt my
Ready for
back.
this,
I'm an old man. It's okay. It's okay. I wish if I had a doctor, if I had law or Chopper, I'd take Caesar at this point. Fucking.
It sounds like you need to be experimented on.
Wow.
Maybe
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. Stop me from messing up my squats. I'm down. Let's go.
we'll give you some animal legs.
Nice.
Wait, this could be fire. Wait a minute. More reasons to love law. Let's go.
All right, so let's just get a recap from where we left off. As the Straw Hats and G5 began to make their way through the lab, Caesar began closing the shutter doors throughout the building in an attempt to trap them in with the poison gas. Luffy and Smoker went ahead to find Caesar and Virgo, while Law made his way to the S.A.D room. As a precaution, Virgo went personally to make sure Smoker and Law wouldn't get away and expose the true motives to the Navy. Virgo ended up finding Tashigi and the G5 soldiers. To their surprise, Virgo attacked G5. Sanji fell back from the rest of the Straw Hats to aid Tashigi. The other members of the Straw Hats fought off Vegapunk's smaller dragon. Luffy and Smoker found Caesar, but Virgo had already left, so Smoker went to find him. Before Luffy could defeat him, Monet intervened with her Devil Fruit powers and blocked Luffy in an igloo. Trapped, Luffy's only way out was to break through the floor. Chopper attempted to help the kids, but was overrun by them rampaging from the withdrawals. Thankfully, the other Strats arrived to help. Virgo showed up at the S.A.D room and confronted Law on Doflamingo's orders to kill him. Smoker arrived in time to help Law. Luffy stopped falling, landing in the underground trash dump, where he found a small talking dragon. Yeah, so Evan had a prediction as to who that dragon was.
It's Mushi.
Was it Mushu from Mulan?
Or sorry, Mushu.
Yeah.
Mushu, yeah,
From
okay.
Mulan, yes.
That's a good guess.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out if you're right in the next chapter. Chapter 685. My name is Momonosuke. The dragon introduced himself to Luffy as Momonosuke. The name sounded familiar to Luffy, but he's not sure why. Luffy asks how they get out of here, but Momonosuke is not sure. He tells Luffy that he was a boy who was a stowaway on a ship and ended up on this island. His pride prevented him from accepting the candy presented by the other children, but his stomach got the better of him when he sneaked away to have a bite of the fruit that was in the lab. He suddenly turned into a dragon and ran away from Caesar's henchmen, hiding in the chute that dropped him down to the dump. He overheard Caesar's plots and realized the kids will die from the experiments, but fell down before he could warn them. Luffy reassures him that his friends are helping the children. Momonosuke has a terrifying vision of Doflamingo and goes flying away on instinct, so Luffy grabs on. Meanwhile, Smoker and Virgo continue to fight. Sanji and G5 run from the poison gas, and Monet interferes with the Straw Hats who are trying to help the children. Zoro tells the others to take the kids and run while he handles Monet. All right, where to begin?
I love Momonosuke's speech pattern. Indeed, the name is mine. Not your morsel of
Very
food.
mature for a little boy.
Yeah. It's very antiquated, it seems. Very formal.
Yeah, very formal for his age.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's consistent with the way that Kinemon was speaking. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
the formal way of speaking. I think part of it, like the way that I think they adapt it into English is the lack of contractions,
Mm-hmm.
which I think that kind of helps give it like a more formal feel. I think in Japanese, it's more clear when they have like a formal way of speaking because that they would change, um, like which version of the word that they would use, but we don't have um, that same language structure in English. So they have to like find creative ways in order to make that translate into the English adaptation. I think they do a good job with that here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like the closest thing we would have is like thee and thine instead of like you
Hmm.
and your. But like even then that's just age and that's not like a formality thing. That's
Yeah.
so it's that's still like a little different. So I'm kind of
Right.
glad they didn't do that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is interesting because it's not a one-to-one translation. I feel like it is like a difference in the language. Like I feel like this comes off as more like sophisticated, so much as like formal. Because we don't
Mhm.
really have like formal, informal
Right.
of the same word.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I
Oh
think
well
they do a
so
good job. I think they do a good job getting the point across, though.
yeah, especially how little they have to work with in this chapter, like how little
Yeah.
he speaks.
So we do get the reveal that this little dragon is actually Momonosuke, the one that Gaemon was looking for.
Thank goodness. That'd have been real dark, even for Oda.
Yeah, that's great. Even for Punk Hazard, which has like had instances,
Yeah.
would have been bad.
The flashback also lets us know that Momosuke has not had any of this candy, which is also good
Mm.
because now we know candy's bad. Candy's real bad.
Like this seems like Oda has an agenda from like his dentist friend. It's like you better make candy not look good.
Yeah.
As if the metaphor, not even a metaphor, the comparison weren't pushed enough. Like literally, it's like the chocolates just look like a box of cigarettes in the flashback. It's like, hey kid, you want a pizzelle? You want a cannoli? You want
Oh my god, it does.
yeah, smoke.
Have some smokes. I mean
Smoke.
snacks.
Was that Futurama?
Family Guy, the smoke thing.
A Family Guy.
Yeah,
Family Guy, that's what it was.
subliminal messaging. Yeah, it's
Like,
been a
that does
minute
sound
though.
familiar. Yeah.
If someone told me it was Futurama, I'd be like, oh yeah, it probably is
Yeah.
Futurama, isn't it? But yeah.
I think it's interesting the way that the flashback is presented because Momonosuke is kind of shadowed out, so we don't see his features. So he's still being hidden from the audience. So we
Mhm.
don't see his actual form. We just see like I mean we can still see like his eyes, his teeth, and his tongue, but all of his other features are like kind of hidden by like the shadow. So it's just a
Mhm.
deliberate thing that Oda did to portray the character from the flashback. Just because I guess we haven't seen him in the present. Yeah, I think it's just an interesting choice to do that. Yeah, I don't know if there's any other reason beyond just because we haven't seen the character fully revealed quite yet. So I don't know if he just wanted to kind of keep like an air of mystique about it.
It's an interesting choice because we do know who this character is now. It's not like he's trying to protect their identity.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's like I mean, one Oda does love his silhouettes, like just as
Yeah.
far as like hiding a design. He like because people do get hype over those things. It increases mystique. Um, and maybe there is something about the way Momonosuke looks once we see him if we see him in a human form that could be significant here that Oda can't show us yet.
Hmm.
Right.
Um, I'm wondering if it's also like based on his flashback, he's been a dragon for a little while now, right? Like,
I want to say it was like what 10 days or something.
yeah,
What we
like
said.
that's a long time, especially for a kid. Like, how I wonder if it's like so. It's like he might not. Does he even feel human at this point?
It was like his own kind of recollections, like oh, like I can't remember what it looked like, kind of deal.
I wonder. Yeah, maybe.
Hmm.
I'm
Could be.
spitballing here, or even just like I don't feel it. Even it's not like I remember it, but like I don't know.
It's a way to like disassociate.
Yeah, yeah, kind
Hmm.
of.
Okay, I can see
Just a
that.
guess. Yeah.
One interesting detail is that we find out this devil fruit is artificial. That was
Mm.
created by Vegapunk.
Yeah. Pretty huge meta drop right there. That's
And that
wild. I mean, so we already knew Caesar was making artificial devil fruit. Whether he realized he was or not, I don't think that was confirmed, but we kind of assume.
Um, yeah, we didn't know that. But one thing I did want to bring back up is I don't know if you remember even mentioning this, but in episode 83, you brought up that possibility that
Yeah,
Caesar might have been making artificial devil fruits because when
with the apples.
with the apple, yeah.
Right.
So that was one thing you said, which I don't think I even clocked at the time. But you said like you brought up, oh, like is this like some kind of artificial devil fruit? So Caesar making devil fruit. So that could be what
And
was
I was like,
happening.
how crazy would that be?
Bro, Evan ate the
How
theory.
crazy would that be? Yeah, this is
Yeah.
nuts. This is absolutely
Yeah.
wild.
Evan's like on like full cylinder when it comes to these theories for Punk Hazard. He's like, I
I'm loving this. I'm
nothing will
loving
surprise
this.
me.
It's a new world, and we're just living in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is insane though. It kind of turns the whole control of power on its head of like if this technology exists, the possibilities are endless.
Mhm.
Um, and this is obviously like an incredibly powerful science to have. So yeah, I love how like casually they just like kind of plop that into the backstory here.
Yeah, and as to what the ramifications are or the implications as to like yeah, how this could be used, that's something that I think we'll talk about a little bit later on. But that's a very interesting concept as well. Like that, just the fact that it's been introduced into the story. That's something that's it does kind of take the concept of a devil fruit and give us a new wrinkle, like as to yeah, how do they work?
Yeah, turning people into dragons. Wow.
And apparently, this was a failure.
Hmm,
Turns into a dragon, but how was it a failure?
that's a good question.
Yeah.
Anything from the
What?
theory, man?
Maybe at the end of the volume. I have a theory, but I think it involves stuff we're going to talk about in upcoming chapters.
I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. Let's go.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to point out is like Luffy asks, "Why don't you just turn back into a human?" And then Momonosuke seems confused. He's like, I can turn back, but how?" So he doesn't even know how or if he can turn back into a human.
Yeah. Pretty wild.
Has Luffy himself ever brought up the different types of devil fruits before? Because he's like, I don't know. I'm not a Zoan.
Um,
I know
um,
other characters mention Logians, but I'm like, I always wonder like how much Luffy knows about the different types of fruits, and so I forget if Luffy's ever even like shown he has knowledge of that before.
I'm sure he has. At the very least, I'm sure Rayleigh would have gone over it with him.
True. Yeah.
It probably been part of the hockey training.
Yeah, that would do it. I'll just keep
Speaking of
calling him Eel.
Logia and Zoan, also get that Zoro mentions that Monet is actually a Logia type, not Zoan type.
Hmm.
This chapter,
Uh-huh.
which I wasn't expecting. I definitely thought she was a Zoan, but she is a Logia type, making
Yeah.
her that much more difficult to defeat.
Yeah. So that is an interesting point because we weren't sure what her deal was. Like if her transformation was due to a devil fruit. Uh,
Right.
Zoro seems to identify her as a Logia type, and I think we can kind of trust that. I think what we see later on will also further confirm that. Because we have seen some of her like some of the snow powers that she's been using.
Yeah.
Uh, so it does seem that the bird parts are probably due to I'm assuming law, even though we had like, the comment previously about her changing her form. So I don't know
Mhm.
if that was like a request to be like I can battle more efficiently this way,
Right.
or something happened to her. But it seemed like it was more of like a willing thing, but we still don't know the details as to like why she changed her form.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because until that point, like there could have been like a guess that maybe she was like maybe the Harpy was like a mythical zone who has like snow powers the way that we
Yeah.
saw Marco as a Phoenix zone that has like the healing flames. But now we've got unless Zoro's wrong, but like
Hmm.
Monet also gives Robin a through and through, so therefore she's now the
Ooh.
worst character in the series. Uh,
Add it to the through and through count.
Yeah.
yeah.
Tally it.
I legit like I just think of that as that's the terminology that occurs in my mind now because of you, Evan. So thank you for that.
If only we had been doing it from the jump.
Next
See,
read through,
I think it'd be
yeah,
a,
well,
a astounding number.
we'll have an actual counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we do a read through, we will actively keep track, and then we will submit to Oda and count how many times through and throughs have happened. So we'll be one of those people that have submitted an SPS question that's like, "Oh, this is said this many times in the series or whatever."
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Perfect.
There's our SPS submission.
We also get the confirmation that Caesar knows this batch of kids is gonna die, and that they're just one iteration in the data set to him, as if he wasn't enough of a terrible bastard.
Yeah, we already knew this about him. He doesn't see any of these people as human beings. They're
Someone just
subjects.
another way to get, for him to get just a little bit worse, just a little bit worse. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, even kids like robbing kids of their future is like especially tragic.
Yeah.
He gives them essentially an expiration date at this point. So, like I said, like it's another 5 years. This batch of subjects won't be around any longer. So I need a fresh refill. So he actively knows what the life limit is now going to be for these kids, and that's not deterring him. It's actually encouraging him in his experiments. But now we also are filled in as to what the expected time frame is now.
Yikes.
One last thing I wanted to mention here. So in the summary, I mentioned that Momonosuke has like a vision of Doflamingo. That's my interpretation. I don't know if you guys had a different interpretation or if you guys analyze like what was happening or what you think is happening here. Like why is he seeing Doflamingo's face? And it seems like he has like some kind of like hallucination and it says like get a grip. So as if
Yeah.
it's talking to him. What do you guys make of that?
So this is where I was going to go into my conspiracy, that because we get more information on this later, because this is honestly, I didn't even clock this as Doflamingo on first read. It was just some like phantom face that like kind of hypnotizes Momonosuke. But we do get some more information later that might lead you to believe that, well, I don't know. Should I get into it now? I don't know if I should wait or not.
If you want, we can put a pin in it and bring it back up later when you feel it's more relevant.
Let's
We
put
could
a
just
pin in it.
okay.
okay.
But yeah, so I didn't clock this as Doflamingo upon first glance. Like obviously now looking back at it makes sense, but on my first read, I was like, I didn't quite make that out to be Doflamingo.
Yeah, the time is in a place of is it? I don't know who else it would be. The glasses look pretty distinct, but as far as why, I'm still racking my brain because I'm like, I don't think they've ever met unless I'm wrong. Who knows? I don't see how, but like we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just the sort of just enough for me to not immediately clock it as Doflamingo. I feel like.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I have a good answer for this. Maybe it might be explained further on. That's why I wanted to mention it because I don't think I have a good explanation. Even if we get additional context, I don't know what exactly is happening here. So yeah, again, during the summary, I tried to explain it as best as I could from my understanding. But there could
Okay.
be a misunderstanding. It could be wrong. I don't know for sure.
Okay, I do have a theory, but let's bring it up later when we get more
Okay,
information.
sounds good. Hey, do you guys have anything else for the chapter then?
No, it's a shame we get so little of the Smoker Virgo fight here.
We'll get
I was
more
hoping,
later.
I was hoping
Yeah.
we'd get a little more, but yeah, we'll get a little more later.
Yeah, there's like a few check-ins throughout the chapter, but I didn't think there was anything
Yeah.
super significant.
All in due time.
All right, and then just real quick, we also get the SBS where we see the young kid versions of the Impel Down characters.
Oh yeah,
Mama Joe, look at this flower, buddy.
this is kind of a fun trend that he's been doing all these little caricatures of
Yeah, I've been enjoying this,
the children. Yeah, it's been fun.
and it's like fun to see like a little glimmer of who they are going to become, even as kids. Like we kind of see like some like foreshadowing when it comes to some of these characters. Yeah, so I think these are a fun little thing. Like
Yeah.
Magellan even has like a little like Hydra, like on his shirt.
Hannibal's never worn a shirt in his life.
All right, well let's move on. we'll go to the next part of the cover story, Caribou's New World Kihihi Volume 11, Saving Big Bro. Corbu knocks Caribou down from the burning stake.
Damn.
Yay!
So close.
Ugh,
We're almost there. We almost had him.
so close.
Stupid lizard.
Yeah, Evan, I've been getting the impression that you're not a fan of Caribou.
Yeah, that's the correct impression.
Okay.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
this
I
might
would have
not
been
be your
perfectly fine
favorite
if he
cover
didn't.
story.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm bummed. I would have been perfectly fine if he wasn't saved.
Okay.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. I can't say I disagree.
All right. Well, let's move on to the chapter. Chapter 686, The Snow Woman in the Biscuits Room. While Zoro fights Monet, Mocha runs from the other kids with the drug candy to keep it away from them. Nami, Robin, and Chopper run to help Mocha. Sanji charges through the Biscuits Room with G5, finding Zoro combating Monet. Zoro tells Sanji Nami and Robin are up ahead, so Sanji continues on. Tashigi decides to stay behind and help Zoro, getting the feeling that she's needed here. All right, thoughts?
I want to jump right into the Nami scene because I was like hyped that we got Nami using the baton. And it's like, all right, we got, this heat ball, which is like the perfect foil to Monet. All right, see ya. Like, what? I would have loved to get more Nami here, like being like, oh, I could really make a difference in this fight. Like, this is a good matchup for me. But then she flees. So I was a little bummed about that.
I get the impression it was more of like just enough to create an opening for her to get away.
Yeah.
I feel like if she stuck around, she probably would be a pretty easy target because
Yeah.
Zoro's had to like intervene multiple times to protect Nami from getting injured or killed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think she might be able to make a contribution, but I think also her priority is probably the kids at this point.
Fair enough. Yeah, it just could have been a cool opportunity for Nami to like step up as a fighter because she's kind of more of a support character when it comes to combat. But she's got some
Mhm.
moves. Like she's got some cool moves, and right here we
Yeah.
see a very effective one. But yeah, she flees with Chopper and then gets trapped. And then she's saved by Robin using the Quattro Mano Spank, which is a new one.
Mm.
We haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, what do you think of this form of Monet though?
Amazing. The Ice
Scary.
Queen. So good.
Yeah, very unsettling.
Yep, definitely a Logia type.
And I think Chopper agrees that the look is pretty unsettling because his hat and antlers also go flying up. This is one of those cases where the antlers go up with the hat. Yeah, but when it's pretty scary looking here with the long sharp teeth, like a abominable snowman or snow monster type thing.
Yeah, and like the icicle teeth. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monet has some really cool moves. Also, like the when the wings turn into ice, the snow sheet skin blade is very cool.
Mm.
Yeah, Monet's got some cool moves.
Oh, I was gonna say it's unusual that Zoro's fighting a swordsman type person, but she said skin blade, so that automatically makes her qualify as a swordsman because she turned her armor into a blade. So it's like, this is my territory. I got it.
Say no more.
I legit think that's also why Oda gave her like the weird like little piercing weapons instead of having her just like make icicles and shit. I mean, I guess it's snow and ice, but I'm like, okay, now she's a swords person. Therefore, Zoro can fight her.
She has blades and she's got like the ice pick type things, which is pretty cool. How she's like fighting, using like her feet to attack with the weapons,
Mm-hmm.
and so she can still fly around with her wings and still attack with them too. So yeah, she's got her bases covered.
And she points out the fact that Zoro is only being defensive and not attacking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's confirmed at the top of next chapter, but I'd kind of forgotten about this this like subplot that Zoro like won't attack women because he's picturing Kuina, specifically with Tashigi. But
Yeah.
it seems kind of like maybe I just don't remember it being towards like I won't fight any women because they remind me of Kuina.
No, I mean he beat the shit out of Miss Monday in Whiskey Peak right after his
Hmm.
Right. Because I feel like he almost made the points in the past of like, oh, I would like when Sanji's like, I would never hit a woman, but yeah, I've kind of forgotten about this fact about Zoro.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's actually been confirmed or stated outright. Like, I don't think this is something that's been really established. He did, like you said, like I think with Tashigi that was an exception.
Mhm.
I think Tashigi perceived it as because she's a woman that like Zoro wouldn't do that. So I think that might be Tashigi's perception.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
Yeah.
exactly accurate. But I think that's why Tashigi is also saying like, "Oh, I'm going to stay and help you because like you're not going to be willing to to attack a woman." So I guess we'll have to see if that seems to be true or not. We do know that about Sanji. Sanji has outright stated that,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I think he does say that again here, either this chapter or the next chapter. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that we don't know if that's like a fact. I don't know if that's in character for Zoro or not. Like I feel like it's kind of like almost ambiguous. I feel like Oda didn't want to commit to anything, but I do get the impression that Zoro doesn't have that same line that he won't cross like Sanji.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like we get more into it at the top of next chapter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, maybe he's trying to delay Monet to get more information out of her, or like there's some sort of situation that would lead him to be more defensive than it just being like a mental
Mhm.
block, like I can't hurt this person.
But I did think it was funny when Sanji arrives with G5, and then
Mhm.
like so they just kind of come out of
Yeah.
nowhere. uh, and then like they're all kind of following Sanji now. Like Sanji's kind of like adopted G5, and then
Mhm.
as they run by, he instructs him to pull your lower lip and taunt him. So they're all sticking their tongue out at Zoro.
So
We
good.
yeah, we kinda get, like, the impression, like, G5's kinda like, they want somebody to instruct them and to lead them. So, yeah, I just think it was, like, a funny little moment here.
They desperately need leadership.
I love Zoro's like, I so hope they slip and fall in the snow. And
And then Sanji does.
Sanji actually does when he sees Monet, which is hilarious.
So well done.
Yeah, fantastic.
But these bites are pretty brutal when Monet freezes, like, this G5 guy and, like, bites the
Yeah,
shoulder and it's, like, takes a big chunk out of his shoulder.
yeah,
Yeah.
brutal. Just leaves a
Yeah.
hole in this guy.
Yeah.
Like immediately cauterizes the wound with the ice and just takes a chunk out of him. Brutal.
Like he's ice cream.
Like he's ice cream.
Yeah, and then we end up with, a Tashigi and Zoro team up. That's pretty cool.
Yes. Zoro Toshigi ship. I hope this would be if this happens, it would be probably my best prediction ever because I've been saying it for so long. And every time I get the two of them like on the same page, I'm like, oh shit.
It's confirmed.
Oh shit. Yep. I'm here for it.
All right. Anything else for this one?
I'm good.
Okay, let's move on. All right. So, yeah, Cody wasn't feeling too well. So he's going to take a break and maybe check in later. But Evan and I are going to carry on. And we are going to move on with the next part of the cover story Caribou's New World, Kihihi, Volume 12, Caribou on the Lam. Now that he's been saved, Caribou sneaks off with their pirate ship and leaves his brother at the mercy of the Navy.
I mean, come on. What a scumbag.
Thanks for the save. Hope you don't die.
Bye. Awful.
What a great captain. Like he leaves like all of his men to just get like defeated
Yeah,
by the
right.
Navy and take their ship.
What a great captain. Just leaves his savior behind and his brother.
His brother who just saved his life.
Ugh. I love that we get Korobu's hair also like reaching out in dismay.
Yeah. Like, wait, don't go. Come back.
Yeah, this guy's the worst.
Yeah. So that is completely scummy, but so funny.
The worst. Ugh.
All right, let's get to the chapter. Chapter 687, Wild Beast. Zoro orders Tashigi to join the others, but she says she is staying here, telling Zoro that she thinks he won't be willing to cut down the woman. Offended, Zoro decides to sit back and let Tashigi handle this then. Tashigi struggles with Monet managing to turn into her snow form and bite Tashigi in the shoulder. Feeling his point has been made, Zoro gets up and decides to continue fighting. As Zoro rushes towards Monet, she is paralyzed by fear, realizing Zoro is going to cut her in half. He does, but he didn't use Haki, so Monet is able to reform using her Devil Fruit powers, though she is still recovering from the fear and can't fully reform. Zoro begins to leave, so Monet attempts a sneak attack from behind. Tashigi intercepts, slashing at the bird woman. Tashigi scolds Zoro for not finishing the job just like she predicted, but Zoro maintains that he would have done so if she didn't. Yeah, so mostly carrying on from our conversation from last chapter.
Yep. I still like them together. I'm a fan. Although I can't really, it's hard to read Zoro's tone in this scene, and I think I might be a little blind to it because I love Zoro so much.
Hmm.
But he kind of is he being an asshole or is he just being sarcastic in this scene? I can't quite tell. Like, I think I love him too much to be too judgmental. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's kind of like to kind of get back at her. He's like, "Oh, you think I can't do it? Fine, I'll let you handle it then. Like, we'll see how you do." So like, yeah, oh, you won't leave. You won't let me handle this. Fine, then you take care of it. So it's kind of like I think he's just trying to make a point and letting Tashigi struggle. Like he had some intention of letting Tashigi die here. So like,
Yep.
you know, when he knows Tashigi's in trouble, he's like, he's gonna step back in.
Right.
But like he's like letting Tashigi kind of do her thing, and I think Zoro's perceiving it as like Tashigi doesn't have a chance of winning, but he's going to at least like show that like he's the one who's actually needed here. Like he has the capability, but he's just kind of like toying around with Tashigi.
Yeah. Yeah, and he saves her just in the nick of time with such an incredibly badass move. Like no hockey, no hockey, just like an all-out one sword style samurai swipe, and just cuts her right in half. And he doesn't inflict damage, but he inflicts fear in her so much so that she can't really recover from it, which is
Yeah.
wild. Because what we have seen in the past few chapters is Monet's no slouch. Like she's a very strong devil fruit user with a lot of different tricks up her sleeve. Almost bested Luffy in their one-on-one, but Luffy was able to escape. And so I feel like that kind of just goes to show how powerful this move was. And the panel that we get from the follow through is using the demon blade too, right? Isn't that the cursed blade?
I think so.
Yeah. So sick. This is my kind of chapter, man. Give me a Zoro Tashigi chapter. I'm all about it. I love
Nice.
it. I love
Yeah,
these
I
two
mean,
together. I love Zoro as one of my absolute favorite characters.
but yeah, just like the time dedicated to that slash, where like we see Monet's
Yeah.
body just cut in half, and Zoro like in the stance here after the follow through.
Yeah.
And then like the next panel, like we see like Monet's face split in half. So like if she was like actually like killed here, that like this would be like pretty graphic and
Gnarly.
yeah. But
Yeah.
like you said, like Zoro didn't use his hockey here, so kind of proven Tashigi right, where it's like he's going easy on her, and he didn't like
True.
he could have killed her right here, but he just didn't.
Yeah.
And it's like now she has a chance to like get up, but yeah, just like the idea that she should be dead right now, like
Mhm.
she essentially experienced like dying, and like now she's kind of grappling with that mortality, and it's like she's struggling to recover from going through that fear. So yeah, she essentially experienced it, but now she has to try to get over that.
Pretty amazing. Like,
Yeah,
and a really cool concept of being a Logia type that we haven't really talked about up till now is like that experience. Like you're actually going through the emotions of dying here, essentially.
yeah.
Pretty wild. She thought she was done.
Well, I think part of like a lot of the Logias that we've seen, I feel they have almost that sense of invincibility,
Right.
where they're like, oh, they're used to things that affect them. Like, Crocodile would like stand there and let the attacks go through. So it's like we see the things like go through his face, but he's like, oh, I'm not phased by it because I'm a Logia type.
Right.
But
Untouchable.
then we do see like, oh, actually, Logia types aren't invincible, and that's where it becomes a case where it's like this, where they can't just rely on the Logia powers to survive all the time.
Yeah. Because of hockey, but he doesn't even use hockey
Mm,
here, which yeah,
yeah.
such a cool move and a really cool concept that what it brings into like the Logia type here. Big fan.
Yeah, and I like this little moment he has like before he does like the slash. So he says, "The instant you realize you couldn't match up to me, you should have run for your life. Yes, there are times I don't want to use my swords, but let me ask you: have you ever met a wild beast that you could guarantee would never bite a human? Because I haven't." And that's when he rushes in. So he's essentially calling himself like a wild beast.
Yeah.
And then she has that moment of realization, like, "Oh, he's going to slice me." So, and then
It's
she's
like
kind of
whatever
thinking about
false
it.
sense of security or comfortability you have is misguided. Love that.
Yeah, and then backtracking, towards the beginning of the fight, we did mention that Tashigi, uh, she does realize it's important that they are able to win this fight, and they need to be willing to finish off Monet for the safety of their people. And she doesn't trust Zoro to finish the job, so she's kind of like here to make sure that they do. So yeah, and then we have that moment where Zoro just kind of sits down, and is like, "Fine, have at it." Um,
Yeah.
as long as like we're keeping her away from like my people, that's all I care about right now. So then yeah, we see when they do some pretty cool maneuvers here, and then doing that same thing we saw before, where she turns Tashiki's shoulder like into snow and bites into it. But one thing
Yeah.
she does is chooses not to try to get out because she knows that if she does, the the force of the jaw is going to rip her shoulder. Kind of like what
Right.
happened with Luffy with Arlong back in Arlong Park, where Luffy
Yeah.
realized like, oh, like I can't like move away from him or else
Struggle.
he'll rip my shoulder.
Right.
So yeah, she does the same thing here.
Yeah. I like Shige's character. And I also feel like Zoro giving her space feels like almost respect in a way because like Tashigi's always had a lot of pride as a character, and I feel like wants that moment to prove herself, and always takes that moment. That we've always seen her taking that moment and taking the chance and wanting to prove herself, and putting herself in really difficult situations to be triumphant. I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but I feel like Zoro gives her that space here and says, "Okay, take like have your here's your chance, go for it."
Yeah, see, I kind of read it the other way. I think it's a disrespectful move on his part because I
Yeah,
think he's undermining her capabilities. I think, like I was saying before, I don't think he thinks Tashigi has a chance, and I think he doesn't believe that she's going to be able to win. So
he's
I
setting up
think,
to fail.
yeah, so I think he's like, go ahead, like see if you can beat her. Go ahead, try it. And then he's like, all right, you're taking too long. You're like you talk big, and now you just goof around. So I'm gonna take care of this because you're not getting the job done. So yeah, I think Zoro's just a little bit more of like I think because he didn't like the way Tashigi was talking to him, where like Tashigi's saying, like, "Oh, I don't think you can get the job done," and Zoro's like, "Well, I don't think you can get the job done. So let's see you do better."
Right, right. Yeah, I think I'm blinded by like I want this to happen so bad. I don't even know if it's a theory so much as just a hope of mine. But yeah, I think yeah, Zoro's definitely towing the line between sarcastic and asshole towards her.
At the end of the day, Zoro's still a pirate, and this is
Oh
part
yeah,
of the reason why
oh
we
yeah,
love Zoro is because of like his attitude.
yeah, totally.
And then Zoro, we know, can typically back himself up. Yeah, he talks big too, and he can usually
Right,
deliver.
right. It's got the goods. Yeah, love that chapter. My kind of chapter.
So yeah, then Tashigi does decide to land the cutting miss below. So when she sees Zoro fail to kill her, and then Monet starts to try to attack Zoro, and yeah, then she steps in, and then they have this moment where Tashiki's like, "That was careless of you. Like you didn't take this seriously. You didn't finish her off, and like I had to save you." And Zoro's like, "You didn't have to save me. I would have done it if I had to, but I didn't need to."
Hmm.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, good job, Captain. The credit's all yours." And
Yeah,
I think this last
maybe
line,
that's what I was. Maybe that applies to more what I was saying before. He gives her a shot here for sure.
Well, then the last line, they kind of summarize it nicely, where she's like, "What? How can you be so patronizing?" And he says, "Because you're so inferior to me." So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, he's like sarcastic saying, "Oh, good job, like you did it.
Right.
I'll give you the credit." Like, because he doesn't like it doesn't mean anything to him, you know.
Right.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, anything else for this one?
I am all set.
Okay, let's move on. Caribou's New World, Kihihi, Volume 13, Divine Retribution. Caribou has to abandon ship as it gets overtaken by waves, being left with only a rowboat.
Just like we said, best captain ever. Captain goes down with his ship, right?
He probably couldn't handle all that ship by himself.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm curious what happens to him just because we know what he knows, but I could care less what happens to him, really.
All right, so to be continued for now. Moving on to chapter 688, Mocha. Chopper, Nami, and Robin attempt to keep the kids away from Mocha. Chopper looks on in horror when Mocha eats the candy for herself as a desperate move to keep the drug candy away from the other children. Earlier, Chopper had explained to Mocha that Caesar is using the kids as experiments to test the drug to grow giants to use as soldiers, but all the previous tests have resulted in death. He warns that under no circumstances that the kids should eat the candy, otherwise they will die and they will never get to see their families again. Chopper says Luffy will defeat Caesar and they will help all of the children, so it's important not to let them have the candy. Mocha falls to the floor and spits out blood. Chopper rushes to her aid, shouting that Mocha chose to sacrifice herself to help the others. Sanji and G5 arrive to help, applying sedatives to calm the children down. As Mocha gets carried away, she tells Chopper that she was able to keep the drugs away from the other children. Chopper feels guilty that Mocha made that decision based on what he told her and thanks her. Luffy and Momonosuke reach the exit of the trash chute. Luffy asks the henchman where Caesar is.
Oh man, Oda, why you gotta keep doing this to us, man? This is tough. This is a tough chapter.
Yeah, this one's heartbreaking.
This is a heartbreaking chapter. Yeah, for a kid to be put into this situation and have to, not have to, but like does make such a difficult and selfless, sacrificial decision is just like absolutely heart wrenching.
Yeah. Yeah, she makes the decision with the understanding of like how important this is and what it means to take
Yeah,
the candy. So she thinks it's better to eat the candy herself to prevent any of the kids from having the candy, and then resulting in them dying. So yeah, she has to make that hard choice, but she does it like willingly in order to save all the other kids.
yeah, yeah. Mocha's a hero
Yeah, she's kind of the MVP.
for sure.
And I love Chopper in this chapter as well,
Yeah, me
because
too.
Chopper cares so much, and like it hurts him to see these kids going through this. Like he's trying so hard.
Yeah,
Like he's trying to get these kids to understand they don't understand like the implications or like how serious this is. Mocha's kind of the one that really gets it. So Chopper was kind of like relying on Mocha to be like the kid to maybe reach the other kids.
yeah,
But then like the moment when Chopper sees Mocha eat the candy, like the look of shock and like anger, he's like don't do it, spit it out. Like don't do it. And then like we could
yeah,
see like the heavy shading in his eyes with the circles. Yeah. And then after she falls to the ground, so after like the little flashback scene, just like this look of like Chopper yelling, like all like this like the lines that Oda puts on Chopper's face and like the tears and like the snot.
yeah,
Like it's so expressive, and like this panel really got me in particular.
yeah. Yeah, I'm like sympathetic crying with Chopper here. It's just like so gut wrenching.
And anger too.
Yeah,
Yeah, so he's like angry that Caesar put these kids in the situation, but he's angry that like he can't reach the kids, and like he's angry that Mocha felt that she had to make that decision, and like he's like yelling because he's trying to get through to these kids. Like this is what the candy does to you guys. Like Mocha
yeah,
sacrificed herself to save you guys from the effects. So stop like blaming Mocha for this. Um,
yeah,
but then it's still not really getting through to these kids, and thankfully G5 does show up to subdue the kids. Who are a little bit less gentle than maybe they should be with the kids.
yeah, yeah. So for Chopper too is because he's feeling guilty as well because he feels like he could have prevented this or like he has the skills and knowledge to have prevented this or intervened in some way,
Yeah.
um, which is like misplaced guilt, but like we also get it from Chopper's point of view.
Yeah, and he kinda
He's
confided
going through it.
in Mocha, and, again, I think maybe he feels like he put, like, extra pressure on Mocha because she understood,
Yeah,
like, the severity. I think he feels a little guilty for being so, open with Mocha because he's like, "Oh, I can trust you, like, you're, like, kinda, like, a little bit more mature than the other kids. Like,
yeah,
you get it." And I think he feels guilty that she made that decision based on what he had told her and, like, how this works, so because
yeah.
she had that information, she made this decision.
He put that responsibility on her, basically.
Yeah, unintentionally, but yeah.
Yeah,
And Chopper also apologizes in that flashback scene, saying he's like, "I'm sorry I couldn't find you earlier. Like, I wish I could have done something before we got to this point."
right.
Yeah, it's really sad
Another
too
gut
because
punch from Moto.
yeah, and these kids like have dreams. They want to like go back to their families, and they said, "Oh, when we're grown ups, like we can go to sea and we can all meet up again." So then when Mocha realizes like they won't be able to grow up and see their families again, like they're going to die. Like she realizes again, like how evil it is, and like that Caesar robbed them of their lives.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, this flashback hits really hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hope she pulls through. This is brutal.
yeah. Hopefully, earlier though, the way that the chapter begins, so we get the confirmation that Zora was the winner of the fight against Monet, but he's
Mhm.
carrying Tashigi, and Tashigi's like, "This is so embarrassing. Put me down. I only felt a little dizzy." But then, as like she's being carried away, she notices Shusui, and
Yeah.
then yeah, she's like distracted by the sword. Oh, like, oh, pretty sword. Like, oh, this is Shusui, isn't it? Like, so
I don't know if he's like, just stay quiet back there. So funny.
he calls her a sword
A
nerd.
sword nerd. Ship it.
Yeah, so she can't help herself. Yeah, I love that characteristic of hers.
Yeah. Love them.
Yeah, and then we end with Luffy making his way out of the dump. He comes back up to shoot with Momonosuke, and he's looking for Caesar.
Let's go. Let's punch this guy.
Yeah, we know he deserves it.
He deserves it.
Okay. Anything else before we move on?
I'm good.
Okay. Moving on to Caribou's New World Kihihi Volume 14. Live on some new island somewhere. Caribou is washed ashore on an island.
But what island is it? This is a very interesting looking place with
Yeah. Huh?
striped mountains and trees made of what looks like patchwork metal, like riveted
Yeah.
metal.
Yeah, it looks like metal trees.
Very interesting.
Maybe like snow.
Yeah, it looks like snow maybe. There's very unique striped, like jagged peaks in the background. It's so unique. I feel like if we knew this place, I would recognize it immediately because it is so unique.
Hmm.
But I don't recall anything like this.
Yeah, so not too much to go off of here.
No.
But Caribou did survive, even though he's a devil fruit user.
Bummer.
The ocean didn't take him out.
And it looks like he's clearly got like a shark bite in his side and like he's bleeding.
Yeah. Huh?
So,
Yep.
oh, which might make sense because he probably didn't have access to his powers.
Yeah. Maybe the shark carried him to shore.
Yeah. Unfortunately, luck is on his side.
Okay, let's get into the next chapter. Chapter 689, The Island That's There, But Isn't There. Brownbeard arrives at the gate to R66, shouting that Caesar has been lying to everyone. Brownbeard orders for Caesar to return his men to him. Caesar goes outside the room to meet up with his former follower. Caesar had intentionally done nothing to help them get back inside earlier. He tells Brownbeard he hasn't heard from his men at all. Brownbeard realizes what must have happened. Upset, he begins to shout and try to get everyone else to see the truth of what Caesar has been doing, but he starts to speak gibberish, unable to get his words out correctly. As the very people Brownbeard was trying to help begin to laugh, Caesar tells him he injected him with a muscle relaxant. As Brownbeard is helpless to do anything, Caesar whispers to him that not only is he responsible for what's happening now, but also the accident that happened 4 years ago. Brownbeard tries to slash at Caesar wildly, unable to hit him in gas form. Caesar says he's gone mad and made the others start to shoot at him. When Caesar prepares to unleash a Gastanet attack on him, Luffy appears, punching Caesar with an elephant gun attack, though he was able to get out of the way in time. Luffy puts a hand on Brownbeard to put him at ease. Luffy asks Caesar what is this place. He explains that thanks to his arrangement with Virgo, it's as if this island doesn't exist, and he's free to perform his forbidden experiments without interference or worry that someone will come and stop him. Law has discovered that Caesar is the only one who was able to create the S.A.D chemical, which is shipped to Doflamingo's factory and turned into artificial devil fruits known as Smile, that can turn someone into a Zoan. One of the 4 emperors has been putting together a Zoan army using the Smile fruits. Caesar warns that picking a fight with him is the same as picking a fight with one of the 7 warlords and one of the 4 emperors. Luffy responds by smashing him in the face, telling him that's never stopped him before.
Such a good line.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the top. So
Okay.
poor Brownbeard. I feel like Brownbeard is always the butt of these tragedies. Like he is, misheard and then gunned down by his own men, which is just so sad because Brownbeard just keeps getting the short end of the stick here. He seems to be like a good or like a good intentions pirate, but he's just had a rough go of it these past 2 volumes.
Oh, yeah.
And you hate to see it because Caesar gets his way again just when you think maybe Brownbeard would talk some sense into his men. Caesar undermines him and is able to kind of turn his words against him and have his own men gun him down, which is just so tragic. And then Luffy silently steps in. He didn't yell gun, elephant gun. Like he didn't he didn't announce his presence. He like catches Caesar off guard here with a silent elephant gun.
He broke the anime rule.
I know, right? You gotta yell at your move. But yeah, and then Luffy is all business, right? Like Luffy shows up and he's got a serious face on.
Yep.
And just lands an absolute devastating punch, which was so satisfying. That panel is incredible. Like Luffy looks super badass. He's got the armament hockey on his fist, and then a great one-liner to wrap it all up. Super sad. You can even see the punch mark on Caesar's face there. So good.
Yeah, almost like the Bellamy punch.
Yeah. You gotta need some nose surgery after that one. And we also get more backstory here on the fruit. So I feel like this is where my theory kind of comes into full circle.
Okay.
Because here it's mentioned that Caesar and Don Quixote are working together to create this fruit known as Smile, where it's not full. It seems like Caesar does a lot of the heavy work and then sends it to Don Quixote, Doflamingo, who also has a factory and does some sort of artificial treatment to it. And it's turning people into man-made Zoan types. And here we kind of see a conglomerate of all different types of animals. So seemingly they might not have control over what kind of creature is created. But when Momonosuke transforms into a dragon, he sees an image of Doflamingo who's commanding him to get a grip. And I wonder if the plan is, they're creating these Zoan type soldiers, and Caesar has the ability to create the devil fruit, which we saw before, and they didn't look like this. They looked different. Like they had that kind of like swirl on them, where these ones have like a very distinct pattern on them. And so I'm wondering if Don Quixote's adding some sort of like mind control ability, or he has some sort of way of adding mind control so that they're creating these Zoan type soldiers who are essentially brainwashed. Because like when we see Momonosuke getting this command from Doflamingo, his eyes are all like hypnotized. Like his eyes kind of glaze over. And so I'm wondering if, what's a Zoan army if you can't control them? And so I feel like Doflamingo has some way of almost like hypnotizing or brainwashing in some way where he has like access to their mind or able to give them orders directly or kind of control them. And I'm wondering if that's why it wasn't finished about the one that Momonosuke ate, because he kind of like got a glimpse of that, but he hasn't really been, from what we've seen so far, under the control of or hypnotized by Doflamingo.
Okay, so you think that's an intentional aspect that they're putting into the smile fruit?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's my theory.
Okay. Actually, your theory made me come up with another theory or a
Ooh,
possible
cool.
explanation. I wonder if that's actually the reason why it's a failure. Is this like a side effect?
Mm.
So,
Of
like,
Doflamingo.
yeah, it's like that vision of Doflamingo. I wonder if that's why it was a
Yeah,
failure.
interesting.
Because it's not elaborated on. But the details are what makes this a little confusing because the way that the production works is Caesar is the one who's producing the SAD, which is like the chemical that they use to create the devil fruit.
Yeah.
But then the SAD chemical is sent over to Doflamingo's factory, where
Hmm.
they then use it to create the devil fruit. So one thing is, like they said earlier, is that the devil fruit that they found was Vegapunk's artificial devil fruit. So that makes it seem like maybe it must have gone to Doflamingo first and then sent back. So there's two possible explanations from that line. Is it was either something that was from Vegapunk, who like he did some kind of experiment on these artificial devil fruits, or the henchman assumed it was Vegapunk's and not
Hmm.
Caesar that was involved with this. They might thought it was Vegapunk's fruit and not actually Caesar's, so they might have been uninformed. So
Hmm.
it's unclear if that was a fruit that Vegapunk had created, or if it was one that Caesar created with Doflamingo, but it was defective. So maybe it got sent back for like testing to see like what was defective about it.
Right.
Um, so that might be why it was here, because it probably would have had to go to Doflamingo first and then come back here because the devil fruits aren't created uh, at Punk Hazard.
Which is interesting because we have seen devil fruits created at Punk Hazard.
Right. So that I think might imply that it's actually that's a different process than what's happening here.
Yeah, and they do look different, notably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I wonder if we know that Vegapunk's the only one like consciously making devil fruit. Again, this is going off the assumption that the guard's information was correct. I wonder if maybe Doflamingo has Vegapunk held captive and is like
Hmm.
forcing him to make these artificial devil fruits, because Punk Hazard's been missing for years now, right? As far as we know, or just like,
Vegapunk.
yeah, sorry, I don't know what I said. Vegapunk's been missing
Okay.
for years, um, so this could maybe answer his disappearance.
So I think we just don't know where he is.
I thought,
Uh,
wasn't he like, didn't he like disappear though, or he's just, no one knows where he is?
he had an abandoned lab, but
Yeah.
he was the one that converted Kuma into the pacifista, and he was doing the technology for the sea, for the navy to cross the sea by applying the sea prism
Hmm.
effect to keep the sea kings away to go along the common belt.
That's right.
So he's doing work for the navy, but we
Yeah.
don't. I don't think we've had any like real update on him since the time skip. But he did abandon his lab on Baltimore where Frankie was, and Frankie found his abandoned lab. So maybe that's what you were thinking about.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe. For some reason that was in my head, is like he had disappeared. But yeah, I guess we've seen two of his deserted labs at this point now.
yeah,
So
yeah, because he wasn't operating on Punk Hazard anymore either, which was deemed like
right.
a hazard. It's like a waste site. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Very interesting though, and also pretty wild that Doflamingo is creating an army of Devil Fruit users.
So there's actually one other detail here. So what Caesar actually says is, from what I hear, one of the four emperors is ready putting together an army of Zoans.
Oh, I guess I didn't. Okay, from what I see what you're saying.
So Caesar is involved with one of the seven warlords and one of the emperors.
Gotcha. So even Doflamingo is outsourcing this army to someone, or
Yeah, or like one of the four emperors is one of his clients.
right? Yikes.
Yeah, so one of the emperors is very interested in these artificial devil fruits for the Zoans.
Hmm. Interesting.
But
Wow.
one
It's just
thing also is like they only say that the smile fruit creates Zoans. So this also implies that they haven't been able to create other types of devil fruits. They've only been making Zoan type devil fruits.
right. Pretty interesting. I feel like between all of our theories, some of that's got to be true, and it's scary. Like that's wild. But it's
the
also coming from a lab where they're trying to create like supersized like children soldiers,
Mhm.
you know?
Yep.
So like yikes. It's crazy to kind of see behind the curtain on what the black market in One Piece is up to.
Yeah. But they seem to be a way of getting power or an edge over their rivals,
Yeah.
their enemies. So yeah, it looks like they're willing to do these things in order to get a leg up on the competition. And one thing I want to propose to you is, do you think that this ties into Law's plan?
Definitely. I mean, Law was after S.A.D,
Hmm.
so he must have known what was going on. We also know he's very much not aligned with Doflamingo. Like they kind of seem like rivals at this point. So I definitely think he was trying to at least sabotage Doflamingo's plan,
Hmm.
if not slow down. I don't know if he's aware of this whole Emperor business,
Yeah,
but he did say he wanted to take down an Emperor though at the very beginning of all this.
he did say that. But does this
Ooh,
tie into this, or is this another
or
like
is this like
unintentional
a
consequence?
right? Ooh, I feel like it's all connected. I feel like it's gotta be. It
Yeah.
would line up quite nicely.
Or he could be trying to pick a fight with one emperor, and now this is causing a fight with another emperor he wasn't prepared to take on.
Right. True, but he did say Emperor, not Warlord, when he
Yep.
was speaking with Luffy.
Hmm.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I do want to actually backtrack to the beginning of the chapter. So we did have like the sequence where Brownbeard was desperately trying to help his men. He didn't know what their fate
Yeah.
was, but he's kind of able to put two and two together. So yeah, this whole scene is also again heartbreaking because we
Yeah.
see how desperate Brownbeard is to try to help his people and the people he's seeing. Now he's seeing Caesar's true colors. He's trying to get everybody else to see what he's learned,
Yeah.
but he's not really getting through to them. And then Caesar again manipulates the situation to make Brownbeard look foolish and again not really get the respect. And it's another form of manipulation. And by injecting Brownbeard, he has this moment where he can't even get his thoughts out. So he's desperately trying to convey this message and like tell them these things. And we can see like his internal dialogue that he's trying to say, but he's just not able to get the words out.
Yeah.
And it's really devastating to see that in action. So he's struggling and like there's nothing he can do. He's helpless.
Right.
And then Caesar just adds insult to injury, where he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, like I did these tribal things too," and like Brownbeard can do nothing. And then we see like Caesar like smiling, like he's like taking credit, like, "Oh yeah, that was me too." And then Brownbeard realized, "Oh, it wasn't Vegapunk that did that," so he pretended to save these people. So he realized like it goes even deeper than he originally thought. And then just Brownbeard
Yeah.
like crying and like realizing exactly just how much Caesar has actually messed everything up for them. So yeah, that whole sequence is just like, yeah, it's so hard
So sad.
to read. Yeah,
Yeah, it's so sad. Yeah, and we've grown to like Brownbeard too. Like Brownbeard's
yeah,
like a respectable person. He just cares about his people and their safety and health and just wants to do the right thing. And it
yeah,
just sucks because he's been misinformed this whole time. And he finally gets an opportunity to shed light all the information that he's been given now with the people that he's trying to protect, and he's unable to. And not on
yeah,
top of that, they turn on him and
yeah,
and they attack
exactly.
him, which is just so sad.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's brutal.
It's like I'm trying to help you guys, and you guys are laughing at me.
Yeah, Caesar's the worst. So glad we got this punch in, and I'm like kind of shocked that Luffy like holds off on the punch until Caesar spills all the beans, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I do love this entrance for Luffy. So first with
Ah,
like the gear 3.
yep,
Um and then yeah,
amazing.
like you said before, like Luffy doesn't say anything. So I love that moment, like when Luffy's serious and he just like throws the punches. He's like, I'm not goofing around, I'm
Yeah,
serious. Yeah,
yep,
Luffy looks really cool here. And then so Luffy he knows like what's going on here, but he doesn't have like all like the full picture. See, he's actually here, like he actually does try to get more information from Caesar, which is where like Caesar goes into like the whole thing and he can't help himself because like Caesar wants to kind of show off his brilliance. So he has
right,
kind of this like Bond villain monologue type thing where he
yep,
lays out everything that's going on because like, he's so like arrogant. He's like, "Oh, I can get away with it. This is like all the stuff I've been doing. This is how great I am. I'm so smart." So yeah, he's like
he
kind of
wants the
gloating
credit.
here. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and on top of that, while he's giving this monologue, you see Luffy like patiently standing there with his eyes closed, which I think is like a little shocking for his character, but like I think showing some growth as a character where he's letting Caesar spill all the beans and he's taking all this information in. At least that's how I read it.
So I think he's kind of just like gathering focus, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like observation hockey, but like I think he's just kind of like
Mm.
taking it in the moment and preparing for this attack. So he just closes his
Yeah.
eyes, like, okay, focus, and boom.
Yeah. That's awesome. I feel like we haven't really seen that yet. That's cool.
Yeah. But then, like, Caesar desperately is trying to also get Luffy to not attack him anymore. He's like, hey, like, you can't touch me because I'm backed
Right.
up by, these powers that are like above you. Like, you don't want to mess with me because of like who I know. But then we have like the great moment where Luffy's like, I don't care who you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to punch you.
He's got that I'm untouchable Logie mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. So great moment here.
Yeah. Such a satisfying punch.
Hey, anything else for this one?
I'm good.
Okay. So let's get into the next part of the cover story. Caribou's New World, Kihihi, Volume 15, waking up next to an old hag. Caribou wakes up in the bed, being treated by an old woman.
Poor lady. Ugh. Yeah.
It looks like she
No
kind of fell
thoughts. I
asleep.
hope. Yeah. I don't know. Caribou's irredeemable. So
Hey, maybe this will be a
even
turning
if she
point for
makes
him.
him, I don't know. Maybe she can turn him, but we'll see.
One thing I just noticed is even like the floor, the table, the cup, the chair, the bed, they're all also made out of like looks like these metal plates with like the
Yeah, that's
rivets.
true. This place is intense.
Yeah, so a little bit of detail there.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it looks like the
Very
bed
curious
is
where they're at.
maybe not metal, but like the mattress,
Yeah.
the blanket.
Very curious.
Okay, let's wrap up with chapter 690, S.A.D. Caesar's followers are shocked to see their master being attacked. He again tries to reason with Luffy, telling him that he doesn't want to get on Doflamingo's bad side, but he finds out he was interfering with his black market operations. Caesar attempts to blast Luffy, but Luffy dodges. Caesar tries to warn that Virgo is a monster when it comes to armament hockey, so Luffy better watch out. Luffy just punches Caesar again. The rest of the Straw Hats continue to try to escape from the gas. Kinemon is horrified to learn that Momonosuke has turned into a little dragon, which may have been the one he cut down earlier. During Smoker and Virgo's fight, Virgo breaks Smoker's weapon in half. During the battle, Law was able to retrieve his heart while Virgo was distracted. Knowing Doflamingo is listening through Virgo's transponder snail, Law announces to Doflamingo that he is losing his valuable pawn as he's about to defeat Virgo, and he's going to take away his supply of S.A.D. As Virgo rushes in, Law cuts him in half, along with the entire facility and mountain it's standing on. He tells Doflamingo that the war 2 years ago was just the beginning, and they are entering a new era with unmatched power. Pretty crazy.
Pretty wild. We'll get to it. We'll start at the beginning of the chapter
Okay.
where we get to see Caesar's face caved in, which is so satisfying.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this guy needs to go.
Yeah.
And I love how he's always just trying to talk himself out of this fight, right? Like we saw
Yep.
him admit that he's not a great fighter or not as strong a fighter as Law earlier on. And now I think he's also in a fight he doesn't think he could win. So he's trying to talk his way out of it and trying to
Yeah.
convince Luffy that hitting him's a bad idea and he's got friends in high places. But I'm glad Luffy's not listening at this point.
Yep.
Luffy's got a serious face on. He's doing the business,
Yeah,
giving
Luffy
Caesar the
already locked
business.
onto his target.
Yeah, yeah, so satisfying to see another incredible punch here. Caesar's had it coming.
Yeah, so then, like, Caesar is still, like, like you said, he's trying to convince Luffy not to attack him. He's saying, "Oh, you have to consider that, like, you're gonna make those, more powerful people angry if they want you to attack me, got it?" Then Caesar still, like, uses, like, this beam. So he attacks Luffy, even though he's, like, trying to convince Luffy not to attack him, so it seems like maybe he's trying to put Luffy's guard down,
Yeah,
yeah, but he was still doing this underhanded thing. But it misses. Luffy's able to dodge it and retaliate with this heavy punch here.
yeah, we love to see it not working on Luffy, right? Because I feel
Yeah.
like that's just kind of been Caesar's mo. Is he like talks his way out of everything, lies to people's faces? Is this like two faced kind of pathological liar kind of guy?
Mhm.
And so yeah, it's nice seeing him eat his words here and eat Luffy's fists.
Yeah, and
So
Luffy can see
good.
right through him because
Yep,
he's
so
gassed.
good. Oh, we're good. We're on one.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
just
and
getting a little
poor
catch up.
Kinemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, go. No, go ahead.
Yeah, as I said, we just getting a little catch up with, some of the other people here. We haven't seen, like, Kenny Moen for a little while, but yeah,
Poor guy.
he has the same realization that you had mentioned earlier.
Mhm. The tragedy. Yeah, I know. He's freaking out. He thinks he might have slain his own son, which has got to be, you know, he's
Yeah.
going through it. He's going through it. Poor guy.
Yeah, so he did learn that Momonosuke turned into a little dragon. He's like, "Oh, no, was that him? Did I do that? Oh, no, Momonosuke." He tries to run back for him.
Oh man, I cannot wait for that reunion.
Yeah, thankfully, we know that Momonosuke
We
was fine.
know,
Yeah.
we know all is well, so that's good.
Yeah, you get this, great fight, with Smoker and Virgo.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So glad we got a little more of this. Yeah, Smoker's such a badass. I love Smoker's character, and I feel like here he takes a small L so that he can do good on his deal with Law and
Yeah.
return his heart to him, which is awesome. Yeah, it's just smart tactics. Like even Virgo kind of saw through him. He's like, "What are you doing? Like you're making no sense. Like I thought you were stronger than this." But Smoker knew exactly what he was doing, and he was able to
Yeah.
make enough of a distraction that he could retrieve the heart, get it back to Law, and then as soon as Law is back at 100%, oh my god, Law is a menace, dude. Holy
Yeah.
shit! Like this power is incredible.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Um, right as I'm like, oh snap, we're about to see like Virgo ultimate form here. He's like ready to go ultra, and then Law's like, nah, I'm ready for this, and slices him in half along with like half of the factory. I mean, we've seen Law deal with scale and do incredible feats, but like I think the last thing we saw him do something like this was the ship, which was very
Mm,
impressive. But
yeah.
this is like an entire facility that he just levels, like a metal facility,
Yeah.
just levels it, including like the mountain range around it. Like unreal, just unreal power.
Yeah, thankfully, the gas seems to be below the cut point. He's not letting the
Yeah,
gas
right.
in.
That could have been real bad.
But this is a flex on his part.
Huge flex. I mean, jaw dropping strength, like just unbelievable.
Yeah, and, like, Virgo, even with the armament hockey, gets cut in half here, along with his weapon.
Yup. Yeah. Wild.
Yeah, I know this little speech that he says as well, because he knows that Doflamingo's listening. So he's,
Yup.
like, making a statement to Doflamingo saying, like, "Hey, like, what happened, at the war 2 years ago is, like, yeah, that's gonna be nothing compared to, like, what's coming up." He's like, "This is, like, gonna be a new age."
Yeah. Times are changing, man. Get with
Yep.
it. I love this. So you can definitely feel a shifting in the power here, which is very exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah. And in this last panel, did you recognize the faces that are here?
Yup. We got Dawson, Kid,
Hawkins.
uh, or Hawkins,
Yeah.
Kid, Piano Man,
Apu.
Caesar, Apu, Big Mom,
Hmm.
and then yeah, Doflamingo, Law, and Luffy. All supernovas, emperors, and warlords, and Luffy. Well, I guess Luffy's a
Yeah.
supernova too, right? Oh, and
Yeah.
Caesar.
Yeah. And Caesar
Caesar's.
too, yeah. But I do think
Yeah,
it's interesting that Big Mom's face is in this panel. That's one of
yeah,
the faces included here.
yeah. I mean, if it's Big Mom, then that's going to tie everything together really, really nicely for what is to come. Because Luffy's got beef, Law's got beef with an emperor. There's an emperor forming this army with Doflamingo. Yeah, it could all be tied together.
All be tied together.
We should put a big old target on Big Mom's head.
Yeah, and then there's like this gear that's like superimposed over like those faces. And the law
Mhm.
says, like you've always said, a new age is coming with an unmatched power, an age of the daring and mighty. Well, now I've destroyed the gears and no one can turn back. So he's like
Yeah,
saying, the system was in place. I'm gonna upend the system, and there's no going back from this. We're moving forward.
yep,
I'm undoing this whole like mechanism that we had in place.
yeah. No turning back now. Full steam ahead. Yeah, I love this ending. Law's speech is amazing, and we get a frown from an uncharacteristic frown from Doflamingo here.
Yeah, he's not
The man
happy
who's
anymore.
the man who's always smiling.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, so it's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting way to wrap up the volume and kind of leave a little mystery in what's to come.
Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
setting
I'm
the
very
stage.
excited. Yeah, it's very exciting. The Law Luffy duo. Hopefully they can stay on a team as long as possible because I love them together.
Yeah. All right. Well, any final thoughts for the chapter or the volume?
I'm stoked, man. I'm so excited. We got some incredible punches this episode.
Yeah.
Some just great Caesar getting destroyed. That was fantastic.
Love to see
And
it.
yeah, getting to end with this super power of Law is just like I said before, just like jaw dropping strength. Like I'm so excited to see what else he can do. Like
Yeah.
this is an incredible flex. Him and Luffy teamed up to against an emperor. Like I'm stoked. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait for more. Yeah, I'm hyped.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is a good volume for kind of giving us more information about what's going on here and giving us some
Yeah.
of the details to fill in the blank. So this does set up a lot of things moving forward, and
Yep.
it's really exciting to see these pieces start to fall into place. And yeah, I think this last chapter does a great job of setting us up for what to expect going forward, kind of setting the tone,
Hmm.
and Law is kind of dictating that.
Yeah.
And then also, Luffy being able to finally get some punches in on Caesar, which is very satisfying to get that after all this build up and just setting up Caesar as such a despicable person and character.
Yeah. The
So
worst.
yeah, so Oda's done such an amazing job of setting up a lot of this emotion,
Yep.
and having us develop like these attachments to some of these characters. Again, like Brownbeard is a character that like, on this read through is now like he seems like so much more sympathetic than I remembered him being.
Hmm.
And some of these moments are heartbreaking. And then like the moment with like Mocha and Chopper was heartbreaking.
Yep.
But all those things go into like the feeding that fuel of the reader wanting Caesar be taken down. So like all that
Absolutely.
goes into that, and that's what makes a lot of this very rewarding when we get to moments like this where we can see Caesar being taken down a notch and see the villains being taken down. Like after seeing all the terrible things that they've been doing, what kind of
Yep.
person they are, and how much they deserve this, and it's just always like so satisfying to see like this justice be delivered.
Absolutely.
All right, but that will conclude this week's episode of the We Are Reading One Piece podcast. You can find this episode wherever podcasts are found at We're Reading One Piece podcast.buzzsprout.com or on the YouTube channel at We're Reading One Piece. This is a spoiler free channel up to where we have recorded the podcast. So if you're new to the series, you can visit the channel there. You can also find me and this podcast on my YouTube channel at Pirate King Codex for more One Piece content. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, you can reach us at We're Reading One Piece at gmail.com. We'd love to hear from listeners, so if you're enjoying the show, or if you have any suggestions on how we can make it better, let us know. Next episode, we'll be starting volume 70, Enter Doflamingo. I've been Joel, and I've been joined by Evan
Thanks for listening.
and Cody, who unfortunately had to sign up a little early. He wasn't feeling so well, but he was not able to make it back in time before we wrapped up. But hopefully, he'll be on the next one. But in the meantime, be sure to bring along all of your hopes and dreams, and we'll see you on the next episode.